Look at the numbers. They're not good in a creative sense. Play action pass, only 18% of their dropbacks. That's 28th in the league, Michael. Pre-snap motion, 48%, 26th in the league. Static, vanilla, and predictable. And this is not a good matchup for this Eagles offense against the Broncos defense. I was on the field this morning talking to Broncos head coach Sean Payton. He was here very early, and they like their matchup defensively. Remember, they grade out as the best pass rush team in the National Football League. They have the reigning Defensive Player of the Year in Pat Surtain, the second at cornerback on A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. So this is a difficult matchup for this Eagles offense. It's got to be hut, get the ball out, and not let that Broncos pass rush get to them today, Greeny.
Outstanding start, Sal. In many ways, I think this might be the most interesting game of the whole day. And, Randy, there are very few people who know what might be going through A.J. Brown's mind when you're a superstar receiver and you don't feel like you're involved enough, but you would be one of those very few people. What do you make of this whole situation?
You know, I don't have a problem with it. Just listen to A.J. Brown's comments. One thing about it, if you don't have a player on your team where you looked at as the guy, if you're not talking positive like that, meaning that if this ship needs to sail in a positive direction, why not get me the ball? I'll start this thing off. So that's really what I took from the soundbite throughout the week. But one thing that Sal Powell talked about the offense, the conversation with Sean Payton, he was talking about how predictable this team was. Well, one thing about last year's team, they wasn't predictable because offense coordinator Kellen Moore, now he's the head coach down there in the New Orleans Saints. So it's looking very vanilla. That's another word that Sal Powell used. So lining A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith against this defense with Riley Moss and Surtain the second on each side, I think it'll be a long day for Philadelphia Eagles. I want to see the scheme, if the scheme can change, moving guys around so this hard-hitting, ferocious defense can't just prey on both of those wide receivers.
I mean, first of all, A.J. Brown, I mean, I've been a fan of this guy ever since he was at Tennessee. I take him in my locker room every single day.
Yes,
a guy like this that just wants to win. And all the stats that Sal Powell's talking about and all these lack of creativity, where this team has always been creative is running the football. All right, and if they can't get Saquon running the football, that's where everything comes off of that. The offensive line is not as dominant right now. A.J. Brown is not the problem. Jalen Hurts is not the problem. Alex, this quarterback, they got to run the football.
They do, and listen, this is not a target problem, by the way. A.J. Brown is the 7th most targeted receiver in the NFL. He has more targets than Justin Jefferson and Amon-Ra St. Brown. We don't hear this noise about those teams, and I think a little bit of this is they're forcing this, trying to get the ball to him, and you can see it from their quarterback, Jalen, right? Trying to get our guy involved. This guy's a stud. Look, this is from last week. Clearly man-to-man defense across the board. Take a look at the man defender down here on Dallas Goedert. They are running a double pick play intentionally. This is the perfect play versus man. Jalen knows the ball is supposed to go to Goedert, but again, I'm trying to get my guy involved. He's got one-on-one, so we throw up the jump ball. Again, incomplete, right? And again, this is your quarterback. It's in the back of your head here later in the game. Bucks in cover 3. Look at the outside leverage corners. What do we like versus outside leverage? Why, we like in-breakers. Look at Devontae Smith in the middle of the field, wide open. I'll tell you what's not good, this weird corner fade thing that we throw up as a long foul ball again, right? I can tell like this is on the mind of everybody, right? Including the quarterback. I've been there when you step into the huddle and your star receiver, right, is not happy. There's no eye contact. They want the ball. And then you break the huddle, right? And you've got your plan and all these things you're thinking about. And in the back of your head is this. I got to get him the ball. Got to get him the ball. Got to get him involved. And again, I just think they're forcing this, right? They have phenomenal players everywhere. Saquon, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. They've got to let this come naturally. Run the offense. It will come.
Well, you got a brand new coordinator, too. And I think that's kind of lost, right? Where you have a new coordinator is going to take time. We saw it, even in Detroit and things like that. So maybe that's what they got to get back to. And what was successful in the past was play action. But, Brew, to your point, play action is not worth a darn unless you can run the football. That is, to me, is the biggest thing. Be creative in the run game. Knock these guys off the ball. It won't be easy, but stay the course. All right, I've seen this team get whipped before, this same defense, when teams are committed to running the football. Run the football. That's going to open up the play action. That's when you're going to get A.J. Brown and company. And watch Smith, too. That's the one, the Slim Reaper, I think is going to have a big day today.
Let me fire back on Alex Smith with that. one thing about, we're not just talking about the third wide receiver, even the second or fourth wide receiver on the depth chart. We're talking about A.J. Brown. We're talking about a dog.
Yep.
One thing that a dog understands, if it's single coverage, you better throw me that ball, Alex.
I hear you. I do hear you. But on that tape, Dallas Goedert is one of the best tight ends in football. He's wide open.
Devontae
Smith is a monster, right? I mean, he is an unbelievable player, and he's open, and he's not getting
If they would have connected right there on those plays, would that have been on your film?
No, but they didn't.
Okay, so the point that I'm making is that they're going to keep having to try at things to make this thing work. He's not going to stop targeting A.J. Brown.
I think this, no question, A.J. has to be a part of this offense if they're going to go win the Super Bowl again.
Okay.
I think today is the perfect remedy, right? You're playing the Denver Broncos. I know their two corners are playing good. One of them is the reigning defensive player of the year in Patrick Surtain.
Be careful.
He is a monster.
Be careful.
It's pretty easy to quarterback when you come up and they play man. I'm throwing to Riley Moss.
Amen.
Every single time.
Amen.
I don't care who's over there. I'm throwing at him. I know he's playing better this year, but I'm still challenging him. I'm picking my battle.
If you're thinking Jaylen is being influenced by wanting to force it to A.J. Brown, then I thought more of Jaylen. I mean, these great quarterbacks that truly, you get open, I'll throw it to who's open.
That's how it works, bro.
And everybody understands that in the huddle. But you're bringing everyone else down. Defensively, you see the open guy on the field. It's like, why didn't he throw it there? Who he's throwing to A.J.? What is he doing? Why is he trying to please a player when throw the player who's open?
Brew, but here's when you're taking a deeper dive into that, when is he forcing it? When they got the game like pretty much in hand. What unfortunately for them, what happened, the teams come back on you. You had a big lead. Now I'm going to get him the football and things like that. So I think you're because you're right, that's not Jalen Hurts. He just wants to win.
A.J. Brown is in the building. Again, the Broncos and the Eagles today might be the most interesting matchup. And here we've got A.J. just walking in.
Look at that look.
What do we think?
Man, if you don't get me that ball 10 times today, but A.J. Brown. No, really, in all honesty, it's all up to A.J. Brown. The ball is coming his way. You got two tough corners. Can you make the play or not? We'll see.
So many interesting storylines as we kick off Week 5. Adam Schefter, what's coming up this morning?
All right, Greeny, coming up, Jackson Dart makes his second NFL start against the Saints, and we'll discuss what's next for the rookie quarterback. Also, we'll break down Malik Neighbors' season-ending injury, and we unfortunately saw A.D.